Welcome back to another episode. This is Layla, and today we are discussing the power of subliminals. I've been posting a lot of different subliminals here on my channel, and I want to explain in details how they operate and how powerful they are, once you start using them the right way. So subliminals are basically affirmations in the present tense that you listen to ideally when you're sleeping or, napping. Maybe if you're meditating, you need to be in a trance state, basically. Or you can also listen to them during the day if you're doing something, if you're busy, like cleaning or whatever. But yeah, they're more powerful when you listen to them at night because this is when your subconscious mind is active. There's less resistance because your ego mind is asleep. And so you absorb better, basically. And so yeah, the difference with my subliminals, because I know there's a lot of different YouTube channels that offer them. The way that I do them is that I also use phrases and transcendental words to regulate the nervous system. And the reason why it's so important is that if you don't regulate your nervous system, or if for some reason you're just a bit more agitated or you have a lot of resistance when it comes to creating or manifesting something, what's going to happen is that you're going to be experiencing the opposite at first. And it's very frustrating. It's usually the part where most people just give up because they're like, well, if it's not working, it's just not meant for me, which is not the attitude you want to have towards manifestation, because depending on your level of trauma, if you have any, most people do, you're going to be, like I said, creating the opposite, or there's just going to be some delays sometimes. And so I actually have a good hack for that, and it's very powerful as well. So if you're trying to create something and you're experiencing the opposite, there are so many noises tonight. I'm so sorry about that. It's usually like so peaceful and so quiet. But yeah, like I said, if actually that's a sign. So if you're going through the opposite of what you're trying to manifest, when you're seeing something that you don't like, first of all, tell yourself that it doesn't matter because it's the last time this is going, this is happening, basically. If you have this attitude of like, I don't care, the distractions or the opposite effect is going to disappear very quickly. And so you're going to use the opposite effect in your favor, in your own benefit. So you're going to tell yourself, because this is happening, right? It's a sign that I'm actually gonna get my manifestation. The 3D just has to play out. My trauma has to come up to the surface, but then it's gonna be transmuted. So who fucking cares? That's the attitude you need to have when you're seeing things that you don't like. Also, if you're experiencing a trigger or something that you don't like, obviously you want to regulate your nervous system, but then you want to listen to any of my subliminals, basically, because it's going to help you focus on what you actually want. Because there's a saying about energy. It says, where attention goes, energy flows. Where your focus goes, energy flows, right? So if you keep on focusing on the trigger, then obviously it's going to amplify and it's going to repeat itself. If you regulate your nervous system while you're being triggered, if you're triggered, and then immediately after, let's say you do some breath work, right? Some deep, slow, not the fast one, not the Kundalini one, the slow one, the controlled relaxation one. And then once you feel more peaceful, then you can start listening to a subliminal that's aligned with what you're trying to create. And you're going to be shocked at how quick things start to move, because you just shifted your focus basically on what you actually want. Now, if you're not experiencing the opposite, but let's say they're just delays, okay? The worst thing you can do is reaffirm that there is a delay because you're basically just casting a spell with your words. Like if you keep saying, well, I've done this ritual and I've been listening to that subliminal, but it hasn't happened yet, then guess what? Like you just reaffirmed it. So obviously the best thing to do is to not talk about your manifestations to anybody, right? Because you don't know, like when you're sharing something with someone, it could be a friend, a family member, whatever. You don't know their level of consciousness. You don't know if they're subconsciously jealous of you, or they maybe subconsciously or energetically they can feel that you're elevating, you're expanding your consciousness, and that might trigger them, so they might try to pull you back into your past self, or so that's actually a normal thing that happens. And don't think like, oh, but it doesn't matter, like even if they tell me it's not gonna work, like I still believe in myself. Like why would you give your creations like on a silver platter to someone else, and potentially, like maybe not, like maybe you're right, like your energy is more powerful than them, and it's not going to affect your manifestations, but like why even waste time and energy like discussing your manifestations or your creations prior to like experiencing them? Like you want to protect that energy, because yes, people can interfere with your manifestations. They can maybe not stop them, but they can slow them down. So like, why would you do that? Like, why do you need external validation of other people on what you're trying to create in your life? It's different if it's permanent. Like even like, let's say you meet a guy, right? And obviously you're excited or whatever, like you're just like, oh my God, he's amazing. We've had some, we've been on a few dates and it's just been going so smoothly. Like women do that mistake all the time. They tell their friends, right? And the thing is, you don't know what's inside, people's subconscious mind. Like maybe it's not even a conscious thing. Like they're not like consciously jealous of you, or they're, you know what I'm saying? But like if subconsciously they are, or if subconsciously they're like, hey, I want that too. Like, why is she getting that? Again, it might create blockages, interference. So like, unless like you have a ring on your finger, or you're like, let's say, you have a date for your wedding, that's when I would start talking to people about it. Like that's how protective you have to be with your manifestations. What else can I say? So obviously, like I said, subliminals are very powerful, especially the ones that I have, because like I said, I've combined nervous system regulation through the different words that I'm using. I'm also using a technique called NLP. What else? So transcendental words, it's hard to say for me, are very powerful because they actually help you elevate beyond the 3D, because that's usually a problem that most people have when they're trying to create the life that they want. They usually look around themselves and they look at the 3D and they are consumed by the 3D. When you are too emotionally attached to your 3D reality, what happens is that you are in human mode. You're not in goddess mode. You're human. So when you're human, you feel like you have no power over your reality. You feel like you're separate from other people. But once you elevate yourself to the 4D and the 5D, basically, what happens is that when you're in that goddess state, you realize that you're the one creating whatever the fuck is happening in your reality right now. And so you can actually take back the control. And you can take back the control, like I said, by not reacting to the 3D. Of course, there's like, you know, we're doing the human experience. Obviously, you're gonna get triggered sometimes. Like, you're not a robot. It's fine. But at least if you can catch yourself and be like, oh, okay, like observe yourself and be like, oh my God, okay, I am being triggered right now because, you know, like talk to yourself, okay? And then of course you want to, like I said, regulate your nervous system to get back into that grounded state. And then once you're in that grounded state, you tell yourself exactly what's going to happen. Or you can say, oh, you know what? That guy did that to me. Of course, if it's an abusive situation, please leave. Like, that's just like the little disclaimer I'm going to give here. But let's say a guy does something that you don't like. Like, I don't know. Let's say they didn't give you a gift. Like, you know how I am. And you know that you cannot ask him because it would come off as like, pick me, you know, to be like, can you buy me something? Like, you know what I'm saying? So what you can do is you're going to talk to his subconscious mind, because both of your subconscious minds are connected, and you're going to give him a command. Basically, you're going to give him a command. You're going to tell him exactly how it's going to make him feel. Like, this person is so excited to buy me a gift. Like, they cannot wait. They've been dreaming about it. They've been wondering and researching to find me the perfect gift. Like, you're going to give them a command, because that's the reality. People only have 5% of their free will. So you have the power. Like, you can give them a command and be like, buy me a fucking gift, like right now. Of course, that's not how you want to talk to them in person, because they're going to be like, why are you being so rude? But that's how you're going to talk to their subconscious mind. So they're going to think that this brilliant idea is coming from them, because it's going to come from their thoughts. You know, like, that's how powerful it is. And of course you want to visualize, but honestly, like, the fastest, quickest way to create something is by using the power of your words. So of course you want to, like I said, regulate your nervous system, listen to subliminals. But then once you decide something, you write it down in the present tense and you say, this is what's this person, actually you want to talk in the present tense. So you can say, they did that, like, they bought me a gift. Or you can talk in the past as well, because your subconscious mind is going to think it already happened. So that's perfect, even more perfect. Like, so in the past it happened. And that's it. You want to try to stay away from thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, think about it. If you already got it, why would you think about it? If you already have someone, why would you think about being pissed at them because they didn't do something or they didn't call you? Like, you're already with them. You know what I'm saying? You always have to, like, bring yourself back into living in the end. And this is for anything you're trying to create. Literally anything. And that's how powerful it is. And like I said, you want to try as well different ways to do things, because, you know, my way to regulate my nervous system might be different from yours. So you want to try different things. You want to research about somatic exercises to make sure that the trauma not only subsides when it's happening, like the triggers, but you want to make sure that it leaves your body. So then you're going to stop creating these karmic loops and the same situations over and over. All right. So let me know if you have any questions when it comes to subliminals, any techniques that I talked about, and I'll see you tomorrow for our next episode.